Direct from the Six, world-renowned, Canada's largest city, with Canada's biggest thinkers, visionaries, and hustlers. This is Startup Talk, featuring the founders, funders, innovators, and community leaders who've led Canada's startup ecosystem right here in Toronto. You'll hear the challenges, the failures, the successes. Toronto's Startup Podcast gives you the full story direct from the entrepreneurs and influencers who've made a difference. Now, the host of Startup Talk, the founder of TorontoStarts, the Startup Coach.
A lot of startups I deal with are always waiting for the regulators to make up their mind or to put some stuff into place so they can move forward. But that feels like they're stalling while they're doing that. How can startups influence regulatory policies in their industry, and what role does advocacy play in shaping business environments in Canada?
Advocacy plays a huge role in shaping the regulatory environment, but it's really important to navigate it carefully. So the first thing that I would say is you never want to wait for the regulators to do something for you to go and have success with your business. There's a regulatory risk that your business is going to face based on decisions that the regulator could make, but you want to be thinking of all different outcomes and moving forward accordingly. The number one step I would say is get legal counsel, legal representation in the industry or in the area where you're waiting for regulatory support, right? If you're applying for some sort of license, don't just apply on your own. Have a trained, seasoned law firm specializing in this industry help shepherd your application through the process. That would be my number one recommendation, because there'll be things, knowledge that they have that could help you move through the process much faster than it would take if you were doing it on your own. Next, typically, and again, this depends on each industry and each regulator because they're all different. Typically, regulators like things that are not being disruptive or rocking the boat. So if you're trying to do something super innovative and you're trying to get licensed in an industry for the first time, now, this is just my personal opinion. This is not legal advice or anything like that. My recommendation would be get the license in a vanilla way first. Don't come in out the gate being like, hey, regulator, your whole industry is wrong and I'm going to come in and change everything and you need to change all the rules for me because I'm going to mix it up. All that's going to do is give the regulator a heart attack and make them watch you super closely all the time. My recommendation would be get approved, get licensed in a very vanilla way. Just say, hey, I'm coming in, I'm doing something standard like you've seen 100 times yesterday. No weird stuff, nothing strange. Get your approval, and then once you're approved, as an approved insider of this industry, then go to the regulator saying, hey, I'm already doing stuff in the totally compliant, safe way, but I'm thinking about doing this other thing. Should I, can I go do this way? Can I try it that way? That is going to make typically the regulator be much more open to having a conversation with you, because the regulator is often looking to ensure that participants in the industry know, respect, and follow the regulation. And if you meet them for the first time and your rules are wrong and I'm here to, mess stuff up, there's another 3-word phrase to summarize that. It starts with the word F. If you're coming in with that being your objective, the regulator is already going to be highly resistant to you. So that would be my tip, is don't necessarily go in guns blazing out the gate. Try to be more vanilla and then try to innovate once you're already in the space.
Nobody wants you to kick over their apple cart.
No. Especially when it's their job to make sure the apple cart doesn't fall over. And certain regulators, at least in the securities space, like the securities regulators, have the ability to issue fines and jail time without going to the standard judicial court process. They can just straight up assign it to you. Be like, congratulations, you won 3 years in jail. Have fun. So you want to make sure that before you go knocking over somebody's apple cart, just see how big their stick is so you can dodge it.
Yeah, and it's always easier to work from the inside for change than to come from the outside.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I want to say thank you, Alex, for taking the time. You want to tell us again what you and Equivesto do and what are all the resources over there that Equivesto people should go check out?
Yeah, absolutely. So Equivesto is an exempt market dealer and an online investment portal for Canadian small businesses, startups, private funds looking to raise capital from Canadian resident investors. So if you are looking to do an angel round and you want a place where somebody's done a bit of due diligence into you already, they've helped you structure your whole round, plan out the valuation, got all the right legal documents, and they provide a digital location for you to actually go ahead and transact, certainly come check out what we're doing at equivesto.com. We also have a really robust learning center. So a ton of what we talked about here already is in our learning center. We also have a bunch of courses for free in our learning center on investor readiness. What are investors looking for from you? All this sort of information is there. It's totally free. A lot of it is webinars that we created with Craig. So feel free to go and consume some of that information. We want to try to help make capital raising easier and more rewarding for all Canadian companies.
This has been Startup Talk, Toronto's startup podcast. For more exclusive content, the episode vault, and to be part of Toronto Starts community, visit TorontoStarts.com. Get your name on the newsletter mailing list and check out our upcoming events. For more episodes, subscribe now. And please recognize the time and work behind the scenes put into connecting you with the biggest visionaries, entrepreneurs, and innovators in Toronto by leaving a 5-star review. Join us for more next episode from Toronto's most active entrepreneur and startup community on Startup Talk.